And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kratos Underground presents the Godcast. I am your boy JayDub, aka Kratos, the God of PlayStation. This here is my very first Godcast. And I have a guy that needs no introduction. He was the face of Xbox, and now he is the general of PlayStation. I want to welcome my man, Supersonic Wolf. And for all of you guys that don't know, my very first podcast was done on Wolf's channel. So he gave me my first opportunity. And I've always said on my first show, I'm got to have the general there. So how you doing today, Wolf?
Hey, not too bad, not too bad. Thanks for the introduction and everything. Yeah, people, it's Supersonic Wolf. Great to be here. It's an honor to be here on the Godcast, the very first episode. This is going to be one of many to come because we're going to bring that fire, we're going to bring that heat, and you already know we're going to bring the facts.
Definitely.
I don't want
Well,
to curse
thank
on
you
your
for
show. I don't want to curse on your show. So
yeah,
just want to try to keep it clean,
you don't want to make my Patreon and all my money go away. So yeah, but thank you everybody for rocking out with me. You guys probably know me from Twitter at JDub City 16. Always keeping you guys laughing with memes, gifts, and everything else. Love gaming. Always loved it since I was a little kid. I own every console from Atari all the way to the Xbox One and eventually the Scorpio and such. So just a big gamer at heart. Helps me relieve stress and it keeps me engaged in the community and it creates a great social environment to talk about our hobby that we love. So I just want to thank all you guys for rocking out with me and showing your support. But we want to start. I thought about it. When I have my first show, what would I want to talk about? And it's just all perfect time because right now we are literally looking at a week away from the greatest show on earth that is E3. If you are a gamer, this is the Super Bowl of gaming. This is the event of all times. And there's so much at stake this year in this generation. Everyone's gonna be tuning in. So you got Sony. They have their event. It's going to be broadcast. Not only on YouTube and other things, but actually in real life theaters. They're giving you front row seats to E3 for all of you guys that can't make it to Los Angeles. Then we have Microsoft coming in, ready to knock Sony off the top of the cloud. And then you have Nintendo backdooring with their own new console, the Switch, that's burning up the streets. And so I think right now we're at we're at probably the best time. We're at the golden age of gaming as it is. So again, this is just like the Super Bowl. Anybody could win. This is make or break time for a lot of companies. And we're going to get started right now. I want to talk about, number one, my most anticipated stage. Which out of these three companies, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, which one is the most anticipated? What do you think? What's your answer for this, Wolf? What's your most anticipated stage?
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm looking forward to all three on what they have to offer. As far as their unique offering goes, we all know that we watch E3, the hardcore I'm talking about, not the casual, the hardcore. We watch E3 because we want to know how many exclusives Microsoft have, Sony have, or Nintendo have, and what they're going to bring to the table. So with Microsoft, it's going to be a little different, a little unique. They're going to be unveiling a new console, a new powerful box, should I say? And we already know we know about this box already. We knew about it since last year. So by the time they release it, it will be a year and a half since we already knew about it. So all I'm saying is, yeah, man, I want to know about the games and what they can offer, because so far the way it stands right now, they haven't been offering a whole lot, and that's not me trying to make fun of them or anything like that. I like the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I rocked out with the Xbox for freaking so many goddamn years, man. Like what, 11 years, 12 years?
Yeah.
I've had one since the OG Xbox.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, man. So like, I don't know, man. Like I felt a certain way because they weren't really offering, what the type of games that I like. But hopefully they could prove everybody wrong at E3 and bring out the bangers, and hopefully they could get rid of that stigma that like that perception is there, that negative perception's there about them not getting Japanese games.
Exactly.
That's the thing. A lot of people saying that Microsoft cannot get Japanese games, and the one decent one that they did have, which was Scalebound, we all know what happened to that. We don't need to go over that, but that's why like they need to do something. And I think whatever Phil's doing, what he's done, from 3 years back, because he took over like 3 years ago. So everything he's planned then, hopefully it could come to fruition now, and we're going to see Phil's vision. And we know this is his box, and we know that he wants to start on a clean slate, and hopefully he could rebrand this thing.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And hopefully they could get that Japanese support as well.
Exactly. Okay.
To all my Xbox brothers out there, I know that they want games like this, and obviously, they're not delivering it because I don't know, they seem to be listening to the vocal minority on Twitter or whatever, for some odd reason. And it's not fair to the majority out there who don't really have a Twitter account and who do want games like this.
Exactly. Okay, well, I tell you what, my most anticipated stage has to go to Microsoft. And that's only because the stakes are so high. Sony could actually underwhelm. They could underwhelm me and underwhelm people, and no one would blink an eye. Nintendo, they're in their own lane, and they'll do their treehouse thing, and whoop-de-doo. Everyone is waiting for the end of the year for that Mario Odyssey. So I think the expectation is not that great for Nintendo or Sony, but Microsoft. To me, this is the most anticipated because this is the last of the Mohicans. This is everything that Phil Spencer has. This is everything that he has in him. He's going to throw at the wall and see what sticks. We know about the hardware. We know about the powerful and almighty Scorpio. But will 4K entry for the Xbox be enough to stop the juggernaut of an onslaught of games from Sony? We just don't know. I'm really looking forward to Microsoft, and to tell you the truth, man, I really can't wait. That is the one I'm literally going to buy popcorn for, and sit around the fireplace and just watch that thing and hope that Phil Spencer delivers. At this point in time, after this E3, no one can blame Don Matrix anymore. No one can blame Steve Ballmer or anyone else. This is all on Phil Spencer. This is making and breaking his career. If there is, it's a 50-50. There is much reward, but also much to lose if he underperforms. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt much larger than Nintendo and Sony. But the stakes in it are so high. If he nails this will propel him to where he needs to be. This will reinvigorate the gamers, even on the PlayStation side, I believe, even on the Nintendo side. This will show that Microsoft still has some fight in them. They still want to deliver on the games and on the commitment that they have. They still want you to invest in them, as they will have shown you that they've reinvested in the Xbox platform. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so on to our next question. Our next topic: most anticipated third-party studio that's out there. What's the most anticipated third-party studio that's out there, and their product? What are we looking for? What are you looking forward to, Wolf? Out of
You
all
know,
the all the studios out there, out of all the third party, developers and stuff
I
and
wanna,
companies
I
out
want,
there.
I wanna know what's going on with Square Enix. I do wanna know what's going on with Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm really looking forward to that game. But at the same time, we kind of know what's going on with EA. They're gonna have a handful of Star Wars games to show. The Amy Hennig Star Wars
Yeah.
games. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. See the light of day. Um, there's many other ones like I don't think we're gonna see anything from Respawn as far. Maybe we may see a trailer because Respawn are also making a Star Wars game with EA as well. So we really don't know what type of game it will be. Maybe it could be like a first-person shooter, or maybe it won't be. Who knows? But they have a handful of them. We already see Need for Speed being revealed today.
Uh-huh.
So a CG trailer doesn't really do anything for me. So I cannot really, I'm keeping my expectations in check right now because until I see gameplay, I can't really comment on it. I'm kind of curious to see what Ghost Studio, that's the name of the studio making it. I'm really curious to see what they're going to bring to the table with the Need for Speed franchise because I used to love Need for Speed, like since the beginning. They've been around for like over 20 years, the franchise. So
Exactly.
they're pretty old school, like that's as old school as it gets.
Yeah.
And they've kind of been on a decline lately because of Forza and all that. And hopefully we could see them rise, and hopefully they can nail it when they share E3.
Okay.
But
Sounds good.
and as far as Bethesda, I don't know what to expect from them. Maybe some Fallout in VR, or maybe the Evil Within 2. We may see that. That was a great game, by the way, very underrated. But
that was underrated. I think it had to do with timing and other stuff releasing around that time. Okay.
So to be honest with you, as far as third party goes, I'm really looking forward to EA Z3.
Okay, EA it is. Okay, well, EA definitely has a lot at stake. They're trying to resurrect their NBA Live 18. They have Battlefront and Need for Speed. They're trying to, revitalize that series. So good luck to them.
Oh, you forgot one more thing.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna have Madden on Frostbite.
Yes,
So
yes, that's huge. So this year will be a must buy for me. Not only is Madden going to be in 4K, but it's being brought over to the Frostbite, which is one of the greatest engines I've seen from them in a long time. My most anticipated third party would be Insomniac. I am looking for Insomniac's Spider-Man. That game, I'm gonna tell you, once we saw that trailer, once we saw that a smidget of gameplay, in-game footage, I think everyone the hair stood up on the back of our necks. So that is, I'm really trying to, I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed, but I'm hoping they release this game this year to kind of feed off some of the buzz from the movie. I think the movie is starting at the end of July or
no, it's 7/7/17. So 7th
July. Okay, July. Yeah, this July. So if they release that game within a month or two of the movie, while it's still in the movies, or possibly right when it's going on Blu-ray and DVD, maybe there can be some kind of integration. When you buy the game, you get the free Blu-ray movie or something like that. Maybe they can capitalize.
That would be a great cross promotion, right? That
would
with the movie and the game together. That would be awesome.
Yeah, they could actually
the movie could be a Blu-ray, or it could be a downloadable code on PSN or whatever.
Exactly. Now imagine this: PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro Spider-Man edition has the color theme red and black console, or red and blue, however they want to do it. And in the pack-in, you not only get the game, but you get a copy of the movie. I mean, that would show great value, right? I think that thing will sell.
Are you sure you don't work for them, by the way, man? Because you come up with these great ideas, man. It's so awesome, man.
Hey, I'm just trying to figure out how they can capitalize besides just throwing a sticker on the box.
Yeah. You don't need a sticker on the box or a little ribbon on the box. You
Yeah,
don't need
and the
any of
amount of
that.
money, the amount of upcharge they could charge on that. I mean, right now the PlayStation Pro is what, $399. You may can find it at some places for $349. You could charge probably $450 for that thing, maybe $479, because it's a collector's. You know, I would look at it as a collector's type item. Plus, you're
It is a
getting the
collector's
movie.
item. Mhm.
Let's face it, the Final Fantasy theme console. I wanted to buy that. I had my hands on it. I was going to buy it for $500. Just
See,
because,
I personally think they should charge no more than $399. Because look, if they release the Xbox Scorpio and that's going to be $399, Sony are going to have to drop the price of the Pro.
I
Now,
agree.
if it
I
is now,
agree.
if it is 500, let's just say like the Scorpio is $500,
Yeah.
then they really don't have to put down the price.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Well,
But they
I agree.
can. Who knows? Maybe they could put it down to $350. Who
Well,
knows?
the good thing about it, Wolf, is E3 is coming up next week, well in advance of the movie and the price drops and all that stuff. So Sony can pretty much do whatever they want to do after that. They'll have free range to tie into promotions and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be a great idea. But yes, Insomniac, that's my most anticipated.
Do you know what it should do? Like, sorry to cut you off there. You are, like I said, you are the god of PlayStation, and this is the Godcast, and this is your show. So I don't want to be that guy, that people will say that's trying to take over, because I'm not. But there's one thing I do want to say.
Sure, go ahead.
Something I had this on my mind, man. Like, I always thought to myself that, if there's a big title from Sony, like a big game from Sony releasing, right? Like a higher tier game, something like Horizon Zero Dawn or a Spider-Man or a God of War. Like some of the lower tier games that let's just say like a game like Gravity Rush, right?
Yeah.
So if we had Gravity Rush, and they want that game to do good, like we all want the smaller games to do good, right? Because a game like that doesn't really have mass appeal, unfortunately, although it's a great game.
Yeah, or major marketing.
So what they should do is, to try to sell the lower tier games, they should give a demo of a Spider-Man or a God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn with a game like Gravity Rush. That way, it could pick up on sales. That's a reason to buy that particular game.
Yeah, you're right.
Gravity Rush would have done so great if Sony gave a demo of Horizon Zero Dawn, because that game was coming out 2 months after Gravity Rush. So I'm sure they could have put a demo in place and have it as a downloadable thing only, or they could have had it, locked on the disc.
Yeah.
So that way, they don't have to give codes with, codes of Horizon Zero Dawn demo with Gravity Rush. It will be, locked onto the disc, or when you download it, it will just pop on your thing.
Exactly. I think that's a great idea.
People would try to sell that demo and try and make a lot of money from it.
Exactly.
Well, that's something Sony don't want.
That reminds me, when I first bought my PlayStation 1, I didn't have enough money to actually buy any games. But I was able to pop in that demo disc and play Rallycross, Battle Arena Toshinden, Cobalt, and some of the other games, Jumpin' Jack Flash, that were on that disc. And if I tell you, I played that for a good, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, 6 months, because I couldn't afford any games after that. I mean, once you spend $300 for a console when you're that young, you don't spend any more for quite some time. So I think that's a great idea, and that would bring back, that would give some of these smaller games and less marketed games some time to shine. I think that's a great idea.
Definitely give it time to shine. It will gain sales. A lot of people would buy Gravity Rush, and then they probably won't even look at Gravity. Some people won't even look at Gravity Rush, but when they find out, oh shit, it comes with Spider-Man or Horizon, and that's something that they are looking forward to, because they've seen mass marketing with this game. Like, it's been marketed everywhere, billboards, TV, YouTube, you name it.
Yeah,
so they're gonna be like, I'm gonna try this Gravity Rush, right? Yeah. So then I can play that demo. But then when they do try Gravity Rush, they will come to realize, hey, this is actually not a bad game. This game is awesome. Exactly. And they could potentially become fans of the game.
I agree. Tell you what, if I was a studio and I made multiple games, I would pack in a small demo on my disc of my games to give people a taste of it. Okay, so the next one, we're gonna move on to show of E3. What's gonna be the weakest show on the stage out of the big three?
To be perfectly honest, I don't want any show to be weak,
Mm-hmm.
but by the way things stand right now, it seems like Nintendo may well have the weakest show. I'm not saying the games are going to be weak, but I'm just saying, they're not going to have a huge presence over there as far as, them showing a boatload of games. We don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're doing a treehouse thing or whatever. I've been hearing that they're doing
Yeah,
something like that, and
yeah, they're
that's
gonna.
really small, right? They're
It
trying
is,
to
but
cater. They're trying to cater to their own fan base,
that's
and
correct.
that's the problem. When you do that, you don't really grow that much by doing that. I want to give a
Yeah,
perfect example. Like Microsoft are trying to cater to the crowd that they have now, and because they do that, they will never grow.
I
If you're trying
agree.
to cater to one crowd that just like shooters and shooters and shooters, your
Hmm.
brand's not going to grow. It's not going to have that mass appeal.
Okay,
You
well,
you want variety, and Nintendo give certain games that
mhm.
that are great for the kids, and some adults also like it. I do have fun playing certain Nintendo games like Zelda, Mario Kart. It's always a blast playing that, but they need to try cater to everybody. That's the point
Okay.
I'm trying to make.
Nice, nice. I agree. I also think Nintendo is going to be the weakest show. They could pull it out. They could shock us, but at the end of the day, um, we know that they're going to show Mario Odyssey. That's going to be the big ticket item. They're going to probably show a little Splatoon. Um, they need to come off this. They need to talk about this online deal. How we're gonna do it. What's it's gonna be like. What are we gonna get for it? They really need to do that. But I do really think that Nintendo will be the weakest show of the bunch. So from there, we're gonna move to our last one, our last subject. We're gonna wrap this up. Um, our number one most anticipated game of 2017. Wolf, quickly tell me, what is your most anticipated game of 2017?
Man, you're putting me on the spot right now. Like I don't know what to pick because there's just so many bangers out there. We already have a load of bangers that have dropped already, and then
Mm-hmm.
E3 come, they're gonna announce new bangers and probably show the ones that we already know about. We just need to know the dates. That's all it is. We know they're coming. We know they exist, and we've seen some of them, but we just need to know release dates. But if there's one banger that I really want to play,
Mm-hmm.
it'll have to be Spider-Man.
Oh man, and I think maybe 100 million other people here will in the gaming industry will probably agree with you. But I think not mine, but what I think is the number one most anticipated game of 2017 is Destiny 2, and I say that because once they reveal that trailer and some of the gameplay, just the feedback that I got from so many people on how they're gonna own that game, and they can't wait to play with their friends, and they're gonna put another 200 300 hours in that game. People are already starting to get their gaming list and their friends list together to get ready to tackle this game. So I think that is going to be a major thing. I would have said Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's been pushed to 2018. So that leaves, I mean, let's face it, the casual love shooters. Destiny 2 is a major shooter, obviously, RPG elements and everything else in there, but it is at heart, it is a shooter, and it is one of the most popular shooters by Bungie, one of the most popular
Hey,
companies out there. I can't be mad at that. I love
Hey,
that.
I'm not mad. I'm a Destiny fan myself, man. How can you be
Exactly.
mad? Destiny is the new beast of
It
this
is.
generation.
It is. And I can
Hence
guarantee
why,
you.
hence why, because
Mhm.
of a game like Destiny, you got companies like Microsoft didn't want to show Halo 6 at E3 because of a game like Destiny. We know it's a
I agree.
juggernaut. We know it's a beast. We know it's gonna sell like
I
millions upon millions of copies. And
exactly.
that
I,
is my
I
favorite
totally
shooter
agree
of this
with you.
generation. My
Yeah.
best first person shooter of this generation is
Well,
Destiny. But then again, it's not really a first person shooter because it's also an MMO, it's an
yes.
RPG as well at the same time. I love the social aspects of Destiny. You could play with your friends, have a blast, do the raids, do the strike missions. You could do the story together. The game has so much variety and so much exploration. You could do so much in a game like Destiny.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, with a game like Destiny, I'm wishing Bungie all the luck. I know they're going to make buku amounts of money with the Scorpio, with the PlayStation 4 Pro, and then, you know, we have all the vanilla platforms running that game. Can't wait for it. It's a day one buy for me. Me and all my friends are going to be playing it for a long time to come. Last but not least, guys, I'm going to wrap up the show with my shout-outs, with Kratos' shout-outs. First and foremost, I thank Wolf. He gave me my first opportunity to be on his podcast. I'm always a fan. Never, you know, thought about getting into YouTube or anything like that. Always the guy in the comment section or on Twitter. Thank you, brother, for giving me my first opportunity to get on the show with you and talk to you and just, you know, give me that opportunity to get people to know me and meet you know, some really good people in this gaming industry and in the comment section. You know, I like all you guys. Thank you for all your support.
No, I just want to say thank you.
All right, thank you, brother.
You've been a class act in this gaming community, and you've done some great things for a lot of people. And not only that, you've given me my opportunity to be on your show for the first time you're airing this show. So yeah, it's a very special privilege for me, and hopefully this will be one of many to come. And we've always had that chemistry. Every time we were on Party Chat, and we, you know, like in case the people in the chat section don't know, every time me and Kratos we're in a Party Chat and we have these conversations about gaming, that may well be a podcast. You know, that's how the chemistry that you and I have when we have these gaming discussions, like we flow really well and we bounce off of each other really good. And you know, a lot of people have said this, that, hey, you know, the people in the parties have said that, hey, you know, this thing that you and him are having, you could have recorded and it could have been a podcast. So
definitely,
man. Agree with that.
When the chemistry there, man, we hook up, we get it done. We, you know, take care of everything. You know, on your channel, on the Greatness Podcast, you know, now on my channel, I want to give shouts out to, you know, Jay Bari and his crew, Mr. Official VG and Persona, all you guys. Follow you guys, love you guys. Fox at Foxy Games UK. Shout out to you, brother. Hellspawn Ray, the silent voice. I know he's always watching out for me. Thanks, brother. Tony Polanco, that's my boy on Twitter. Shout out to my boy Tim Dog. You know, we're the fierce rivalry, but we're cool with each other and we always keep it respectful. That's my boy. Shout out to TFP, Titanfall Princesses. Sweetie, talk to you later. Shout out to Anchorman, Cal L with the Tick Podcast. Keep doing your thing. And last but not least, my man in the green chair, Craig Harris. Thank you, brother, for you know, keeping me in the loop and you know, bringing me on the podcast, and I'm being on your podcast, you're being on mine, and you know, rocking out with me and Wolf and everybody else, man. Great podcast. Definitely. You guys make sure you go and subscribe to every single person that I talked about. But we're gonna wrap this show up. Thank you for coming out, everyone in the comment section. Thank you guys. And this is your boy JayDub, aka Kratos, signing out of the Kratos Underground presents the Godcast. Have a blessed night.